Today I want to show you some custom minifigures I got sent over from minifigs.me. These are Steve, Robin, Billy, and Max from Stranger Things. Now, it wasn't until recently when I really started to get into custom minifigures and making minifigures because I didn't used to care about minifigs. They were kind of boring to me. I didn't see a purpose for them. But then I started to get into Stranger Things, and now I paint customs and I do all this crazy stuff just because I'm obsessed. Being the new geek I am, I was pouring through the internet one day and I saw all 4 of these custom minifigures, and minifigs.me was kind enough to send them over so I could review them. So that's what I'm doing today. I do want to preface that this custom printing is way better than any kind of paint job I could ever do. It looks so much better. So as I stated before, the minifigures in front of me are Steve, Robin, and Billy from Season 3, and a Season 2 version of Max, indicated by this red jacket. One of the really cool things about these minifigures is that you don't just get the figure themselves, you also get an accessory for each one of them. Max gets her iconic skateboard, Steve and Robin both get Ahoy hats, and Billy he gets the best of them all. This thing cracked me up when I first saw it. It's a sports cover to a sports magazine with a bikini lady on it. The detailing on this print is that fine. You can even see the little bikini on the Lego minifigure all on this 2x2 tile. You have to be really dedicated to pay that much attention to detail, and I can respect that. Steve and Robin have just as good accessories. I love these just as much. They're the little Ahoy hats they wear at the beginning of the season. Not only do these little hats have the printing that makes it look exactly like the show, but you can also stick these hats pretty much anywhere on the figure. With a simple stud, you can make these figures hold their hats, or you could put it on top of their heads like a normal hat would be on a Lego minifigure, but I don't like that look as much as putting it on top of the hair. You can do that with Silly Putty or just Gravity in general because they hold really well. But now that we've talked about the accessories, let's go ahead and dive into the beef of these figures, which is actually the printing themselves and what makes them a good minifigure. So I'm going to start with my favorite and move on down the list. Here before you is the scoops of Steve Harrington. I love this figure so incredibly much. He just looks so accurate and so good. The printing on the torso is spot on. You can even see the little name tag that says Steve. Everything here looks exactly like the actual dorky outfit he has to wear for pretty much the entire season except after the final battle. One of my favorite parts about this figure is just the leg printing. They really went all in. You can see the shorts, then the flesh, then the socks, then the shoes, and then the laces on the sneakers. It's just really good and really detailed. It looks almost exactly like it. I keep saying that, but it's so true. On top of everything, quite literally, is my favorite part of this minifigure, and that is the head section. I love the way they nailed the hair. One of the hardest things for me was trying to find a hairpiece in my own collection that matched Steve. I just couldn't find anything, so the Han Solo hairpiece here is absolutely fantastic. And the nice thing is he also has a reversible head. The front portion is his casual face where he's just doing, pretty much anything, and then the other side is the bruised face, which you see after he goes down into the Russian base. I must say I like the beaten up face a lot more. It's just an iconic thing about Steve. He's gotten beaten up every single season. I just love it. Next up is the true ladies' man himself, Billy Hargrove. Now, Billy is one of those figures that they really went all out on as well to make sure he looked accurate. The hairpiece from Luke Skywalker is absolutely amazing for him. I actually picked that up myself a little while back, but I think it looks almost insanely accurate for Billy. The torso printing is incredible. They could have just stopped at making a plain white tank top, but they added the lines you see in almost every other tank top, the little lines that show where his big old pecs are, and of course the necklace that he wears throughout the entire season. Some very subtle stuff that really adds a lot of detail to this figure. His jeans blew me away though, specifically because the belt actually extends up onto the torso above. To make sure the belt buckle looked accurate, they didn't just include it on the waistline of the pants piece, they also made the printing extend up onto the torso above. That is some extremely subtle stuff that really adds a whole lot of character to this figure. Just like Steve, he has a reversible face. The first face is him just being normal. It's just his mustache, his eyes, and of course his mouth, but my favorite is the sunglasses face. You see this at the pool, and I can't get enough of it. Something about it just makes me like it a whole lot, more than any other face in this entire little series of minifigures. Next up is Robin, which is Steve's partner in crime, and I love this probably just as much as I like Steve, except there's no reversible head. I don't like Robin as much as I like Steve, in the actual show that is, but this Robin figure has a whole lot of detail. You can see the lines on the arms that extend through the torso. One thing that took me a little while to notice was that her leg printing is not the same as Steve's. Her socks are actually just a little bit longer and go closer to the knees, knees, and that just gave me a lot more appreciation to everything related to this figure, because everyone that designed it actually focused on making sure it was accurate instead of just, you know, taking the easy route and making everything the same that they can. But the final figure is Maxine, or Max as she likes to be called, and the thing I like about this figure is that she comes with the skateboard. I already mentioned that, but they really nailed the torso printing. You can see all the little stripes on her shirt, the stripes on her jacket sleeves, the actual jacket itself. All of it's pretty amazing. You can even see the little bitty shoes on her short legs. That was something they didn't have to include, but looks really good. But that will cover it for these minifigs, so if you enjoyed, I will leave a link to minifigs.me down below so you can check out these figures, purchase them for yourself, and see what else they have to offer. I actually bought some tiles recently for an upcoming mock of Starcourt Mall and Scoops Ahoy, and I'm blown away by them as well. Absolutely amazing stuff they do over there in the UK, so I strongly encourage you to check them out. But that's it, so stay tuned for more mocks, and as always, thanks so much for watching, and most importantly, take care.